Hey Hogs, this is the defensive part of film from the Bloomington scrimmage. Uh, you guys might hear some part, some way through the recording, a door opening, and you might hear my dog and my wife. My wife's taking our dog out on a walk as I'm doing film here, so but you might hear that in the background, just so you know. Well, we'll get started here. Just go through probably left to right, seeing how our defensive linemen are doing each play. I'm going to have to kind of guess what stunts we have called or what's what the defensive call is. So it might take me a while to figure that out, and then I'll be able to talk about our techniques here. Right now, I think this is just base blue. So we're going to watch right here. Should take our 2 steps, which it looks like we do. We go 1, 2. Okay, and we make contact. This is how we make contact. I'd like to see our feet flat in the ground. I'd like to see our head in the middle of the chest. We're a little too high here. Okay, and we need to make sure we get extension. Notice how you're on a shoulder. We don't want to be on a shoulder. We want to be square, and we want to be looking through the hips. We don't want to be looking right here. That's too high. Okay, notice how we're being turned out right here. Once again, we need to make sure that we are square. We're in command of both of our gaps. And notice how, since we never got extension on this guy, that he's able to just stay on us and keep blocking us as we run by. Okay, so we're too high, not getting extension, not staying square in our gap. Okay, watching the nose here, 1, 2, takes her steps. These are good steps. 1, 2. Okay, gets his hands on. He feels this. He's a little too high. He is underneath this guy, though, which I appreciate, but he could be lower on the numbers. He feels this. He drops in the knee. He turns away from pressure. We got a 2-on-1. He does not get moved very much. Okay, he goes to the ground. He sacrifices his body in order to create a 2-on-1. This is excellent. This is perfect. 1, 2. Okay, gets his feet firmly on the ground, does not get moved very far, maybe a yard. It would be great if we didn't get moved at all, but this is great because notice how he's keeping this tight. He's not getting washed all the way down. This is really, really good. He stays nice and big and firm. Okay, and he feels that he's getting moved, so he goes to the ground. But notice 2 guys for 1. This is a victory for us. You might say, well, coach, he's on the ground. How is that a good thing? Because he demanded a double team. He didn't get moved. He stayed in his position. And notice what happened. Because he demanded a double team, we had a linebacker be able to come over the top, and look who makes the play. This linebacker that was unblocked. That's who makes the tackle. Like I said, when we have a base technique, it is not our job to make the tackle unless it comes to our gap. We want to get double teamed, and we want to stay double teamed so our linebacker can make the tackle. He makes the tackle, but we make the play. It's a thankless, selfless job that we have to do, but that's part of being a servant leader, okay, is knowing that my job is to get pummeled into the ground so somebody else can get the glory. Okay, and that's what part of being a D lineman is, and being a teammate is knowing that my job here is not to make the tackle unless it comes to my gap. Okay, but if I'm getting double teamed, my job is to stay double teamed. So this is an excellent job, because notice how we don't get moved very much. Okay, the hole's pretty small, and we have a free runner into this gap to make the tackle. That's excellent. Okay, watching our other end here, his steps are too big. Okay, he doesn't go 1, 2 right away and read what happens. He goes 1 big step, and when he makes contact, this foot is still off the ground. That's not good. Okay, we need to make sure we get extension. We don't have extension here. Okay, I do like how he's staying square. You can see that this guy's trying to turn him out, but we're able to stay nice and square, which is good. Okay, and then we should be trying to fall in and try to get on this tackle here. Okay, but our first 2 steps were not good. Okay, this should be spam. So we should be slanting here. We're in our 5 technique. So let's look at the 5 technique. Okay, we took that inside step. He steps down. We should be washing. Let's wash him down. Let's stay tight to him. Tight, tight, tight. And that's good there. I like that. Okay, hands on, tight, 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 tight. Okay, that's pretty good right there. And then we notice that play goes away. Okay, we sit here, we're patient until we know what's going on, which is good. And then we can work out, make sure we're running flat down the line of scrimmage. Don't go chase them. Run flat down the line of scrimmage and go cut them off. That's what we're looking to do. Okay, ripping hard into our gap. We're too high. 1, 2. We're too high. Our head is up by theirs, which isn't good. We want our head down by the hip. Okay, 1, 2. We're just way too high. We got to get lower down by the hip because we're going to get washed here. Okay, here, I like this, Ben. I don't mind this too much because you're kind of seeing what's going on. Once you see plays going away, if you can't run flat down the line, then we want to run back over the top. Let's see what we do. Good, we're flat down the line. Make sure we're giving chase. Next play here. Okay, looks like we got a wave call going on. We're in our 5 technique, very nice. We look a little too wide. I like to see us eye to eye. Remember, tight 5 techniques, but it could just be the angle of the camera. I could be wrong. Okay, looking at LaFleur here, we get cross face into our gap. That's good. Now, don't run downfield. Make sure we run flat down the line of scrimmage, which we do a pretty good job here of doing. Good, good, good. Good, and we're able to get into the play there. That's excellent. We want to see a ton of our hats from relentless pursuit all around the ball carrier. That's what we want to look like. That's very nice. Good job. Okay, pacer here, we slant into our gap. We get into our gap. Okay, make sure we finish that rip. We're going to make sure that rip is violent. I should see that. Finish that rip. Get your arm up so this guy's not able to stay on you like this. Notice how he's able to stay on you because we don't finish that rip. Okay, and we should be running down the line of scrimmage like we're doing here. Good, but we have to get rid of this guy or this guy's just going to wash us by the play, which is not what we want. Okay, Ben, you take that step. You see he steps out. You want to make sure we keep this shoulder free. Fight back out. This is good. Perfect. Right here. This is the position we want to be in. Okay, we have the inside hand right in his chest. We've stopped him from reaching us. And now we can pursue down the line and be an inside out player. Let's see if we get into the play. Inside out player. Good. We're able to get into the play and pursue the ball. Okay, here. You look like you're in a 5 technique, so I think we're having another field wave call going on. Okay, we'll watch Ben here. Okay, you take a step with this outside foot. We don't want to do that. We want to be straight into him with that foot. Okay, we are commanding our gap though, which is good. I don't know what happened there. Okay, we command our gap, which is good. Here we should be slanting into our gap right away. We shouldn't be engaging this guy. We're too high. We should be working upfield into our gap. There's no way that this guy should be getting a hand on us. LaFleur, I think we should be slanting here, I believe. Got to make sure we get into our gap. Okay, here I think we're running weapon here because we got a wham twist with this linebacker on. So we'll watch Ben here. Ben's in this 5 technique. He takes his step correctly. He commands his gap, which is great. Okay, pacer, once again, we're too high. Your helmet pops straight up when you take this step. I should not see your helmet pop up at all. We got to go run through his leg. We're too high. Okay, LaFleur, good job getting into your gap. That's very nice. We don't need that little spin move there. We don't need to do that. Just keep finishing your rip, LaFleur. Just keep finishing the rip. That's all we need to do. Okay, and then we need to pursue to the ball. Make sure we all turn and pursue. Okay, I see Ben pursuing, but I don't see the rest of us pursuing. Okay, I don't know what we have going on here. I think we have another maybe maybe we have a wham twist call going on. I think that's what's going on because you're slanting there, he's blitzing, and you're slanting in, and you're in your 5 technique. Okay, so you see him step out right away, so I can see that you're trying to work out to that play side arm. You see plays going on side bin, that's good. Now, right here, okay, right here, when you see that quarterback's running, we gotta humble ourselves and think, okay, I know that this guy can probably beat me to the outside. Good. And we need to make sure we turn back up field. That's actually a pretty good job there, Ben. Okay, I like how you turn to get flat and realize that he can probably beat you. So you need to take an angle to where you can go cut him off. That's pretty good there. Okay, watching Pacer here. Pacer, once again, just too high on our slants, but I do like how you're trying to get into your gap. We're just too high on our slants. Too high. Okay, LaFleur watching you. You cross face, you get into your gap. Now make sure, make sure we're running down the line of scrimmage. Okay, here we're running bluff. This is nice. I really do like this blitz, guys. Okay, this is really tough for an offense to pick up. Okay, because one of you guys are going to come free. One of our 4 techniques will come free, which is good. And to be honest, I know Coach Fritzy talks about getting hands-on. We'll talk about it more this week. I really don't need you to get hands-on, guys, especially on a pass type situation. If they're going to drop back, I just need you to be tight off their butts. That's what I want you to be. I want you to be tight off their butts into that gap. Okay. So I like how LaFleur is able to get into this gap quickly. Notice how we just kind of get all jumbled up here and we're both not able to really do anything. So I like us to take maybe one step where you take that one step, maybe 2 quick steps to make them think you're coming at them. But really, I just want you to be tight off of the linebacker's butt here as you're trying to get over into that gap. Okay. Pacer, you need to recognize pass sooner here. Okay. I think you get your right hand in the sternum here, but let's get both hands right in the middle. But once you see it's pass, now let's try to get rid of this guy. Now let's start working an angle, right? You have 2 open windows. Let's get rid of that guy sooner and go try to get into the backfield. But that left hand kills you. Okay, this left hand out here kills you. You don't have any control of them. Okay, here we have a crash call going on. This is Butter. Okay, we work outside. This is good. Ben, very nice. Good job getting out there. Okay, we take our 2 steps here. Feel pressure. Okay, we don't need to drop the knee though. Okay, that's too preemptive. Okay, that's a little bit of pressure. You really didn't get moved a whole lot. Okay, notice how he just tapped you and kept going. Teams are going to start doing that because they know that we dropped the knee. Okay, we can't drop the knee unless we absolutely need to. Unless we absolutely need to. Okay, we have a butter blue call again. So LaFleur, you have a rib call. LaFleur, you look like you're kind of out in a 5 technique here. Make sure we're head up on our guy. You do a great job slanting it to your gap and getting in the way. Good job not leaving your feet on this. Good job just getting your hands up and not leaving your feet. We don't want to jump because this guy might pump fake and run. Good job just running at him with your arms up. Okay, Pacer, you need to recognize that it's pass right away. Okay, once you get hands on and you get extension and you see it's pass, now we need to start trying to get off this guy and working angles. Get rid of him sooner. Okay, Ben, I know you got over here late and you didn't get an on call. I understand that. So you just did your base technique, did the best that you can. That's fine. Okay, here I think we actually have a razor orange call on. Tui, we got to make sure we cross face, buddy. We can't take this backdoor gap, bud. We got to make sure we get flat, get across his face, and get into our B gap here. That's where we got to be. Okay, Owen, we're a little late with our steps when we make contact here, and our hands are not in a great spot. Okay, we need to make sure we get extension here. And we need to get rid of this guy before we go running. Otherwise, he's just going to run you by the ball. We have to get rid of this guy first. Okay, Vinci watching you. Good job slanting into your gap. This is great. You're into your gap. You're working upfield. You do a great job working into the tackle here. Benji, that's a pretty good job. You are a little high. Okay, you are a little high. But you do a good job working vertical into your gap. Next, we got butter call on. Okay, Vinci watching you. You got a crash call going on. You're a little too wide. Look how you're out kind of in space. We need you to be tight to that linebacker as you're coming out here. Okay, Owen, your first step's a little bit big. And notice your hands. Okay, your hands are up on the shoulder pads, wide. You're not getting your hands inside. He's got his hand inside, so he's going to win that battle 100 times. Okay, you need to get your hands inside and get control. Okay, Carson, I think you got a rib call here. So we want to make sure we're working into our gap, which is that B gap. Okay, here looks like we got a, this should be a, I think this is a wham twist again. He should be blitzing because we're out in our 5 technique here. So Carson, we'll watch you. Should be slanting, getting across face. We're a little too high, but you do get into your gap. And I like how you're running down the line of scrimmage. Okay, Owen, watching you. You're too high, but I like how you're fast into your gap here. But you're too high. Notice how your helmet is either above or at the same level as theirs. We're too high. Okay, Vinci watching you. You take your step. It's a little slow getting that step down. Now we need to start working back out and getting our outside shoulder free, which you do. We got to make sure we get extension. We're too high here. Get extension. Good. We are able to command our gap. And now we're able to pursue this ball. Okay, got another butter call. So this looks like a burn. You're going out. He's coming in. So this should be a rip. Carson, we're ripping outside here. Okay, you almost do this like a 5 technique, which isn't the end of the world. Like you're doing a shaded technique, which is not the end of the world of doing this. I do like how you're trying to keep your shoulder free. But if you're going to do like a shaded technique where we're out in a 5 technique, you got to make sure that you have your inside arm to a sternum, outside to the shoulder. And you got to make sure your body is over here in your gap. Okay, right now you're reached. Okay, Owen, watching you. Just your first step's too big. You got to be quicker with those 2 steps. And your hand placement is decent. Okay, good job getting off and pursuing though, being quick to recognize. Okay, notice Vinji right here on this crash call, how wide you are. I need you to be right off his butt. Notice how wide you are here. We don't need that. We need you tight off his butt. Okay, you're way too wide with that. Okay, we're in our 5 technique here. Looks like we're running a wham here. Okay, Vinji watching you. Looks like you're angled, Vinji. We don't need to be angled. Make sure we're still square to the line of scrimmage. Okay, that inside foot's too slow, and it looks like you're immediately looking into the backfield. That's not good. You need to be looking at your key who's already reached you. Okay, we need to make sure we are on his outside shoulder right away. So you need to be fighting back over the top. So Vinci, that's not good there. You are not in position to be looking into the backfield. That's not good. Okay, Owen, good slant there, being nice and fast. Good job redirecting. Carson, good job fighting across space, getting into your gap, doing what you need to do. Okay, here looks like we got a spam twist. So we're slanting in. We're slanting that way. I think he's supposed to be A gap though, unless this is secret. Oh yeah, this is secret. So we're running secret, not spam twist. So we should be in our 5 technique. You look a little tight here, Carson. Look like you're still almost in a 4, but Carson, we're way too high. Okay, take that step and notice you're still helmet to helmet. I need you on the outside shoulder. Okay, need you on the outside shoulder. And we should not be falling in here, Carson. This is not our gap. Our gap is out here. Okay, we should be attacking his outside half. We should not be square. We should be out here. Okay, Jacob, you slant. We're a little bit too high. It's not too bad though. Try to get that second step down quicker. When you make contact, it's in the air. Try to get that second step down quicker. Okay, Vinji, getting into your gap, not too bad. Just try to fight against pressure, Vinji. Notice when you're slanting, I really don't notice you leaning back into this and trying to get vertical. We're too high as well. Your hips are above his, so you're not going to be able to really lean that far. He's just going to be able to wash you like he's doing. Okay, that's why we need to remain low when we slant. Okay, here we got our base technique. Looks like we're just running base blue here. So we're all getting hands on. Okay, Carson, you take your 2 steps. Make sure we stay square. Make sure we get extension, Okay, it looks like we do get extension here, but we're a little bit inside. I like to see us still square on this guy. All right, but you do command your gap and you are able to fall into the play, which is good. Okay, Jacob, you take your 2 steps, which is good. Get extension right away. Notice where this hand is. It's not inside, so we're not able to get extension right away. But you do end up getting extension, and you're able to fall into the play, which is still good. Okay, Vinci, good job getting staying square. But you don't get extension here. You stay square in your guy, but we got to make sure we get extension so we can get rid of him. Notice how he's just driving you into the pile. We don't want that to happen. We want you to be able to get rid of that guy first. Okay. Okay, this looks like base blue to me. So we got hands on our guy, hands on our guy. Jaden, you need to have hands on the tackle here. Okay, you shouldn't be in here. You should be having hands on your tackle. We should be getting extension right now. Okay, we're too high here. We're too high here. This isn't bad. Your head is down by the numbers. And I love Jacob, how you get rid of this guy. You get your hands inside. You're lower than he is. You recognize what's going on and you get rid of him right away. That's really good, Jacob. Okay, here we're slanting. I think this is spam because you're in your 5 technique. Okay, land all much and you guy pulls. Okay, if he pulls, try to fight back over the top because you know where the play's going. Okay, Jacob Cummings, we're too high here when we slant. We need to go from low to high and rip through his hip. That's what we're trying to do there. Okay, Jaden, you should be slanting inside. Your guy leaves. We should try to fight back over the top on this. But we do get into the tackle, which isn't bad. Okay, but Jaden, I'm going to talk about our steps. Remember when we slant, Jaden, we want to step with this foot first, then cross over with that foot, and then get into our gap. But we talked about your stance. This stance is too exaggerated where you're not able to do that. Okay, because you have all your weight up here. So we need to even our stance out a little bit more where you can take that first step with that inside foot. Okay, here it looks like we got a wham call, slant in, got our 5 technique. Okay, Joe, we're just way too high here. Okay, we're not able to get extension. Rumsa, we're also way too high. And Raymond, we got to be fighting harder into our gap. Okay, we got to be right here and in our gap. Okay, here it looks like we're running base blue. So Joe, you should be getting hands on your tackle, not engaging with this guy. Even if he steps out, you need to be going with him. Okay, Raymond, you too. You need to be getting hands on your tackle. Rumsa, I like how you get rid of your guy. That's very nice. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there, guys, and I'll post it to YouTube.